the rebound that we've seen since the sell-off in European equities has been lagging the rebound that we saw in the US. You could ask the question whether part of that has been down to a stronger euro. Is that why we've seen European stocks not rebound quite as forcefully?
Well, to some extent, the sell-off also wasn't quite as much.
Good point.
This sort of explosion of the bubble, particularly in the short VIX trade, was very much a US trade, as that's where we'd seen the biggest action since year-end. I think the markets are moving more or less in tandem. We had the big sell-off which started in the last couple of days of January, ran through first week of February, and now we've seen a reasonable recovery from very oversold conditions about 10 days ago.
Yeah.
I'm now of the view that the sell-off is going to resume. And I'm looking at things like...
Well, it already seems to be in Europe today, and you've got US futures pointing lower as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But, I think you've got to look at there's a couple of problems here. First of all, how much speculative excess, how expensive are traditional asset markets at the moment? And I would actually point at Bitcoin and say we saw an explosion in the value of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies through 2017. That bubble burst in December. In many cases, cryptocurrencies fell by more than a half, and I think that's an example of the speculative blow-off that we were living through.
Yeah.
And I think now equities are starting to follow that suit. So I'm afraid I don't see a one-week wonder. I see at least several months of quite serious falls from here.
Right. When you talk about Bitcoin, it's broken above 11,000 again. It's had 4 days of gains. And of course, at the moment, most of the investment in Bitcoin is retail investors. It's not necessarily institutional. So are you saying that Bitcoin is kind of a sign of our times where basically people are looking for risk and are looking for places to put their money in a low return environment?
I'm saying Bitcoin is a symbol of the sheer speculation.
Right.
And speculation is not very sound. Yes, indeed, it can go up, quite violently, as your indicator, bounce back. But Bitcoin's still almost half what it was at the high. And I'm not a believer at all. I think it's just a speculative bubble. And I'm just pointing to the reality that speculation normally ends badly.